Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Redline Top 5. This week, Acura has sent me over their flagship best-selling model in the lineup. This is the completely refreshed 2017 Acura MDX. And in this video, I'm going to go over my top 5 likes and top 5 dislikes, so let's get started. Beginning with the good news, let's talk about the top 5 things that I like about the refreshed 2017 Acura MDX. And number 5 is going to go to the new Diamond Pentagon grille. I actually think it's an improvement over the old shield beak of the old MDX. Now, of course, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. However, combine that with the slightly updated LED headlights with LED turn signals and the new grille, and it really gives the MDX a more distinctive face. Definitely makes it look a little bit more aggressive this year. Number 4 is going to go to the ride and handling of the 2017 MDX. Now, this is a pretty large vehicle, and because it has super handling all-wheel drive, the MDX handles incredibly well. The torque vectoring all-wheel drive will kind of shove it around corners when you put your foot down, and the steering is really responsive, really quick to react, and it's just a really pleasure to drive this SUV. Now, it's not quite as sporty as some offerings from Jag, from Porsche. However, the MDX sports a nice middle ground for a lot of buyers. Number 3 is going to go to the plentiful amount of interior storage and the overall spaciousness of this cabin. Now, the MDX has basically Honda Odyssey roots underneath, so that basically carries over into the overall interior ergonomics. Lots of cubbies, lots of deep storage pockets, 2 large cup holders, and really this is the perfect family vehicle, the perfect road trip vehicle if you guys are planning to use that for its purpose all the time. Number 2 is going to go to that smooth and powerful 3.5-liter direct injection V6 under the hood. Now, it makes 290 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. No changes from the previous model year. However, it's a really nice engine for the MDX. Smooth, makes good noises, gets decent gas mileage, and I think most buyers are going to find plenty to like with this naturally aspirated V6. And finally, last but not least, my number 1 top like feature about the refreshed MDX is going to go to the strong value. Now, Acuras have always been a very strong value in the luxury segment, and the MDX is certainly no exception. My tester, fully loaded. The only thing it's missing is the infotainment system, is around $57,000, which, you know, some of you may think that's a lot of money. However, looking at its other Japanese or mostly European competitors with 3 rows like this, and they're going to cost you like around $5,000 to $15,000 more. There's a reason why Acura sells a ton of MDXs every year, and it's because this vehicle basically check marks a lot of boxes for a lot of buyers out there. So switching gears, let's talk about the top 5 things that I dislike about this car. Now, of course, I don't particularly think any car is perfect, even something like the MDX. And number 5 is going to go to that fussy transmission selector, the push-button transmission selector. Now, Acura introduced this on the MDX last year. It's the new ZF Source 9-speed automatic. You know, I still have not been able to get used to it. I just think that it takes up the same amount of real estate space as the traditional lever, yet it's definitely not quite as intuitive to use. Now, I know some of you are thinking you just push the button. However, a lever is just so much more natural. It's so much easier, quicker to use, and I really just think Acura didn't need to do it. They just wanted to make the interior look more high-tech, but it really wasn't necessary, to be honest. Number 4 is going to go to the idle stop function that the advanced models give you, like my tester. Now, that basically means the engine will shut off at low speeds, or I'm sorry, when you come to a full stop to save gas. Now, I've tested it in other cars. Unfortunately, the system in Acuras and Hondas is a little bit jarry. It's not very smooth. There's like a slight hiccup, slight delay as soon as you lift your foot off the throttle and put your foot, or I'm sorry, off the brake and put your foot on the throttle. And I've definitely driven systems that are a lot smoother. GM comes to mind. A lot of their current GM products with the feature is much smoother, much more seamless, and I think Acura has a little bit more work to do. Number 3 is going to go to a lack of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Now, this feature is available on the MDX's less expensive cousin, the Pilot, so it's a little bit annoying and confusing as to why the luxury version Acura is missing it. This is soldiering on with the old dated 2-screen interface, which uses the old map graphics, which is incredibly slow. I'm just increasingly frustrated with Acura and their infotainment systems. The company is working on an all-new infotainment system called the Acura Precision Cockpit, so expect to see that coming out soon. Number 2 is going to go to the adaptive cruise control in this car. Now, Acura made their Acura Watch suite of safety systems standard on every MDX this year, and the adaptive cruise control in this car has the low-speed follow, which is what I wanted some of the Honda products to not have. However, it's just not incredibly smooth. I had the Genesis G80 last week, and that vehicle was definitely quicker to react. It followed the vehicle a little bit closer, and the Acura system was just a little bit annoying because it wouldn't always follow the vehicle in a good distance to where people would literally cut in front of you. And I just think that the overall programming of the system, or maybe the lasers or the computers in it, just need to be fine-tuned a little bit more. And finally, my top one dislike about the refreshed 2017 MDX is going to go to the fact that there's honestly very little reason to choose this over a fully loaded Pilot Elite. Now, my tester being $57,000 is roughly about $10,000 more than a fully loaded Pilot Elite. So what does the Acura give you? Well, it gives you the Acura badge, you get a longer warranty, you get better dealership service, you get a slightly lower vehicle that looks wider, that has the super handling all-wheel drive, which Honda kind of has that version, minus a few, extra computers to make it torque vector quite as thoroughly as the MDX. But in terms of most of the features, the Honda can give you a lot of stuff that's unavailable on the Acura, such as the Android Auto and CarPlay, a big panoramic sunroof. So to me, it's a little confusing as to why you may choose this. Really, you're going to choose this because you prefer the styling of the MDX, or because you just have to drive a luxury brand. There's very little reason that I see personally to choose this over a fully loaded Pilot Elite. But anyways, that does it for my top 5 likes and top 5 dislikes for this 2017 Acura MDX. Now keep in mind, I will be doing a full Redline review of this vehicle. Expect to see that come online in about a couple days, but until then, if you guys are looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always guys, keep subscribed to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.